Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ashok Kumar from Government Women Engineering College Ajmer. This is lecture 2 on linear wire antenna series, and in this lecture 2 we are going to discuss about small dipole antenna. The following contents will be addressed during this lecture 2 of wire antenna series: initial introduction, then calculation of radiated field by small dipole antenna, calculation of radiation resistance and directivity of small dipole antenna, and problem based on small dipole antenna. The content of this lecture 2 is developed with the help of these two following books. First, we need to calculate the radiated field by small dipole antenna. So, as we have discussed in the lecture 1 of wire antenna series, some kind of or some categories of antenna based on wire categories. Then after we have categorized antenna in terms of their length, and first we have discussed about the infinitesimal dipole. Then we will discuss in this lecture 2 about a short dipole antenna, and we have considered a short dipole of length L, and this length varies between lambda by 50 to lambda by 10, and preferably L less than 0.1. I mean we are taking L less than 0.1 lambda, and radius A, as we have assumed A less than lambda, and symmetrically placed about the origin and oriented along the z axis, as you can see in figure 3a. This is figure 3a, and you can see the geometry of small dipole, and this is the dipole having total length L, and this is origin we have considered as a coordinate known as x dash, y dash and z dash coordinate, and this is the point P in a space that is called as the observation point, and this origin to the observation point is the distance r, and this is the small element dz dash length, and we the distance from this point to the observation point is capital R, and this is from the z axis is the angle theta, and from the x axis is the angle phi. So at the origin it is having the length minus L by 2 to 0 and 0 to L by 2. Total length of the small dipole is small L. This is we have assumed. Measurement showed that the current on a short dipole with feed point shown in figure, as you can see, this is figure 3b, and here you can see in this small dipole the current, as you can see when we are fitting at center fed at this point, then the current is looks like triangular distribution. As you can see, this is current and this is along the z axis, so you can see here, and at the center feed the current is maximum and then decreases at both sides. So the current distribution with the maximum at the center linearly tapering off to 0 at the end. You can see mathematically the dipole in the region 0 to L by 2 can be represented by a straight line having a slope of minus 2 by L I naught and an intercept of I naught at z is equal to 0. So here you can see this we can represent as a straight line, and the slope of a straight line is minus 2 by L into I naught. Here you can see. Similarly, over the region minus L by 2 to 0, as you can see, this is minus L by 2 to 0. The current distribution can be represented by a line having a slope of 2 by L I naught and intercept of I naught at z is equal to 0. So we can say this is the slope and having it's increasing. So we can say from this point 2 at the maximum is the plus 2 by L into I naught. Thus, the current on the small dipole can be represented by the following expression. So, here you can see this is the expression of electric current on a small dipoles at x dash, y dash, z dash is equal to I naught is the constant value, and mean n minus 2 by L into z dash the whole into I naught. This is the current on the length minus, sorry, 0 to L by 2, I mean this slope. And from minus L by 2 to 0 the current is, because I naught 1 plus 2 by L z dash and along the z directed. So you can see this is increasing slope, so here comes is the positive, and this is decreasing slope, so here comes the negative. And we have putted this current element, I mean small dipole, along the direction of z. So we have calculated the I of E, which is known as the electric current. Since the current is z directed, the magnetic potential A of the equation 2 has only z component, and it can be written as this is the generalized equation as we have discussed in lecture 1. And then we can compute by using equation 23, and we are calculated A x y z. We are putting this value on this equation 2, then we can find out the value of magnetic vector potential A from, and we have integrated from minus L by 2 to 0 and 0 to L by 2, because the current is different from minus L by 2 to 0 and 0 to L by 2. So this is the current, this is the magnetic vector potential A due to the current exist on a small dipole antenna. Then further we need to calculate the two important factor. First is the R and e to the power minus j k r. I mean the phase component and the magnitude component is very important to calculate here to derive the expression for A. So R is the distance from the source point x dash y dash comma z dash on the dipole to the field point x y z, and it is given by R is equal to, as you can see, x dash is equal to 0 and y dash is equal to 0, as we are put it on a origin and along the z direction. So z dash is not equal to 0 because it's having some length which is equal to 0.1 lambda, and we have calculated root of x square plus y square plus z minus z dash ka square. So expanding the equation 25 and can be written as R equal to z a minus b ka whole square. We have expanded, then we have calculated this expression, which is equal to r square minus 2r z dash cos theta plus z dash square, where r square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square, and z, this z equal to r cos theta, and this can be easily calculated from the figure. Here this is the angle theta. When we are draw one vertical line, then this angle is the theta. So this length is the r. R is the source to the observation point distance r, and angle theta it's cos theta. So z is equal to r cos theta. Using the binomial expression, we can write equation 26 in a series as r equal to r minus z dash in plus 1 by r z dash. Here you can see we have expanded in a binomial series. If the field point is far away from the antenna, I mean r greater than z, the term involving z dash by r and higher power of z dash by r in equation 27 can be neglected to get an approximate value of r. R is equal to approximate value initial two terms we have considering, and further terms we have eliminated due to far field assumptions, which is equal to r minus z dash cos theta. So the maximum value of it, the most significant of the neglected term in equation 27 occurs when theta is equal to pi by 2 and 1 by r. Here you can see 1 by r z dash square by 2 sin square theta maximum is equal to z dash by z dash का square by twice of r. We are putting the value of theta is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, if we use equation 28 instead of equation 25, as you can see, this is equation 25 and this is equation 28. The maximum phase error due to the most significant of the neglected terms would be a pi by 8, or we can say 22 point. This is the maximum phase error we can get from this for this dipole antenna when we are calculating the phase component. And this is the kz dash square upon 2 less than equal to pi by 8, and inserting the value of k is equal to 2 pi by lambda and z dash is equal to l by 2 at the maximum point, which is l by 2. So we can reduce this equation r greater than equal to twice of l square by lambda. As you can see, this is very important expression, as we have discussed also in a uh, antenna parameters, and this is the far field region distance, r greater than equal to 2l square by lambda, where l is the largest dimension of the antenna. While evaluating the expression in the far field region of the antenna, we can use the approximation given in equation 28. This is equation 28 for the phase term e की power minus j k r approximately e की power minus j k r minus z s cos theta. This maximum the results in a maximum phase error of pi by 8 radian or 22.5 degree, since both r and capital R are very large compared to the wavelength. So the following approximation is used for the amplitude term. So we have considered amplitude term r is equal to nearly approximately r, and phase term is equal to r minus z dash cos theta. So by considering these two equations, and we are putting these two equations in equation number 24, then uh, we can find out the equation for A, magnetic potential equation, when considering the maximum phase errors for L equal to lambda by 10, and this phase error we have considered negligible and has very little effect on the overall radiation characteristic. This assumption we have considered in a far field region. Then we can calculate A approximately equal to Az mu upon 4 pi I naught e to the power minus jkr upon r into L by 2. So this expression is we have calculated by considering these assumptions, and this is expression for A is half to the expression of A for a infinitesimal dipole. Here you can see. So we first express the component of magnetic vector potential in a spherical coordinate by considering Ax is equal to Ay is equal to 0. Here you can see here only Az component exists, so Ax and Ay equal to 0. From equation 33, Ax equal to we have transformed in a r theta and phi. So ar is equal to az cos theta, which is equal to az we have calculated by equation 33. Then we can get ar equal to mu upon 4 pi I naught e to the power minus jkr upon r L by 2 into cos theta. Similarly, a theta is equal to minus az sin theta and a phi equal to 0. So these AR, A theta and A phi we have calculated by transforming from rectangular coordinates to the spherical coordinate system, as we have discussed in lecture 1 of wire antenna series. Then further next step is to find out the magnetic field by using expression H is equal to 1 by mu del cross A, and expanding the curl equation in a spherical coordinate system with the knowledge of the field quantities are phi symmetric, and hence the result of differentiation with respect to phi is 0. So we can consider H having the HR S theta and S phi component, and A having the AR A theta and A phi component, and by putting the values of AR A theta and A phi from the equation 34, and we can calculate the equation of H, and which is equal to a phi H phi, which is equal to a phi 1 upon r mu del r a d theta. This is the generalized expression that we have calculated from the equation 35, and by putting the value of a theta and a r from the equation 34 a and b, then after we can get the value of HR, S theta and H phi for the far field region Kr greater than 1. In that case, we are getting HR 0, S theta 0 and H phi having this expression. Here the H phi component having 1 by r plus 1 by r square. So we have neglected 1 by r square term here in a far field region. Then the phi component h of phi we can calculate it, which is equal to j k I naught L upon 8 pi e power minus j k r upon r sin theta. So we have find out the value of magnetic field component along the r, theta and phi direction, which is given in here by equation 37a, 37b and 38. Then further we need to calculate the electric field, and we have calculated the electric field in a source field region by using this expression. As this expression we have also discussed in the lecture 1 of this wire antenna series, and performing the differentiation and neglecting the term containing 1 by r square, we can get the electric field from the equation 39 by considering the equation 38. This is the h of phi equation. Then in a far field region Kr greater than 1, we are getting Er is equal to 0 E theta. So here you can see in a small dipole antenna also E theta and H phi component is exist. In a far field region of the electric and magnetic field intensity are transverse to the each other as well as to the direction of propagation, as we have discussed in the previous lecture also. Here again we have discussed. So E theta comma H phi and the direction of propagation AR form a right handed system. The ratio of E theta upon H phi is equal to the impedance of the medium or in a free space, and which is equal to neta. This is the important expression and needs when we are calculating the directivity and radiation resistance. This expression for electric and magnetic field intensity are related to the magnetic vector potential by the following equation: E is equal to minus ka j omega at, H is equal to this is the generalized expression, and at represent the transverse component of the magnetic vector potential. At is equal to a theta plus a phi a capital phi cap. So these equations are valid in a far field region of an antenna, and this we have discussed also. So we can say there is no radial component exist in a small dipole also, and E theta and H phi component are perpendicular to each other. So the wave impedance is equal to the intrinsic impedance of the in a free space. Then further we need to calculate the radiation resistance and directivity. Since for a small dipole we have put it along the z direction, only E theta and H phi component exists in a far field region. So by considering the E H HR, S theta and H phi and E theta and E phi components from these equations, the average power density we have calculated, which is equal to 1 by 2 real part of E cross H ka complex conjugate, which is equal to 1 by 2 real part of, this is the expression. And by putting the relation E theta upon H phi is equal to neta, and equation 40b for E theta, I mean this is the E theta equation 40b. The average power density at a distance r is given W average equal to AR 1 by 2 real part of E into E theta into E theta का complex conjugate upon neta, which is equal to AR 1 by twice of neta E of theta का magnitude square. And this is the generalized expression when we are taking some assumption for neta is equal to E theta upon H phi, then we can calculate the average power density at a distance r by using this expression. And we are putting the equation E theta from the 40b, then we can find out the W average power, which is equal to this expression. So if you have compare the average power density of small dipole and infinitesimal dipole, then you find out that in a small dipole it is 8 pi component, and but in the case of small dipole it is 4 pi component. Other things are same. So the total radiated power is obtained by integrating the power density over a sphere of radius r. P radiated, we have integrated 0 to 2 pi, 0 to pi, 0 to average. This is the generalized expression. And when we are putting the W average from the previous equation, and we can find out the P radiated, which is equal to neta pi upon 12 I naught square L by lambda ka square. So again you can compare the radiated power of a small dipole and a infinitesimal dipole, then you find out here this the radiated power is 1 by 4th less than the power radiated by the infinitesimal dipole. So here is the 1 by 4 multiplication factor comes because the field variation come 1 by 2. To obtain the radiation resistance, the total radiated power is equated to the power absorbed by an equivalent resistance carrying the same input current I naught, and P radiated is equal to 1 by 2 I naught square into R radiated. So we can equate 45 and 46 equation, and putting the value of neta is equal to 125 for free space, then we can get the expression for the radiation resistance of the short dipole, and which is equal to R radiation 20 pi square L by lambda square. So here you can see the radiation resistance of a small dipole antenna is reduced as compared to the infinitesimal dipole. In infinitesimal dipole it is having 80 pi squared L by lambda ka whole square, but here it is 20 pi square L by lambda ka whole square. In order to compute the directivity, we first compute the radiation resistance, radiation intensity U of theta comma phi R square W average, which is equal to we are putting the W average value, then we can find out the radiation intensity U of theta comma y phi, where W average is the radial component of WAV. So the directivity D we can calculate by using this expression 4 pi U theta comma phi upon P radiated, by putting the equation 48 and P radiated from the equation 45, then we can find out the directivity of a small dipole, which is equal to 1.5 sin square theta. Here you can see the directivity for a small dipole and a infinitesimal dipole is same. There is no difference in the directivity, and the maximum value of occur at theta is equal to pi by 2. Then we are putting, we can get d naught is equal to theta 3 by 2 in from the equation 50, then which is equal to 1 point. So we can say the maximum directivity is also same in the case of small dipole antenna, and the maximum effective aperture we can calculate it, which is equal to lambda square upon 4 pi. D naught we are putting the d naught value equal to 3 by 2, then 3 lambda square upon 8 pi. So this expression, maximum directivity and directivity of a small dipoles is same, and the only difference is the radiation resistance, which is uh, 1 by the infinitesimal dipole resistance is the 1 by 4 into the small dipole or weak. And the one more difference you can see is the electric field, which is one half of the infinitesimal dipole. So automatically the radiation resistance is reduces by the 1 by 4th factor. Here you can see 80 pi square divided by 4, so we can get 20 pi square. And the 3D and 2D radiation pattern of the small dipole is also same, and we can see this is in the xz cut plane. Here this is x and this is the cut z plane. So you can find out theta is equal to 90 degree at both ends as indicated in figure 4a. Here 1 and 1, and this is the angle theta. So and in the other plane it is looks like a omnidirectional pattern, but in this plane it looks like a bidirectional pattern. So, and to understand the process as we have discussed in the lecture 2 of wire antenna series, and we have find out the electric and magnetic field as well as radiation resistance and directivity of for a small dipole antenna. And based on this theory, we have consider one example to understand, and this example is a short dipole of length given, and radiated power is also given, and distance r 1 kilometer, and theta is equal to 45 degree and phi is equal to 90 degree. So this is phi is equal to 90 degree is the cut plane, and it is called as the YZ plane. So power density can be easily calculated. W average radius r theta comma phi is equal to P radiator 4 pi r square d. This is the generalized expression. Or if you find out how we can calculate the W average r theta comma phi by using equation 48 and 49, and this is the equation 48. So we are considering u theta comma phi is equal to r square W average, and 49 d theta comma phi equal to 4 pi u theta comma phi p radiated. So by putting the value of u r square W average in this equation, then we can find out the W average, which is equal to this expression. So using equation 50, the directivity d theta comma phi is equal to 1.5 sin square theta for a short dipole, which is equal to, putting the theta is equal to 4 pi by 4 instead of 45 degree. 45 degree and pi by 4 is same, it's in degree and it's in radian. So we have calculated the value of 0.75. So radiated power density, by substituting the value of P radiated r d theta comma phi, then we can get W average r theta comma phi, which is equal to 5.9683 into 10 to the power minus 5 watt per meter square. So this is how we can solve the problem of the short dipole, and this is the standard procedure that we have discussed here. This is another problem, and this problem is to test yourself, and it is based on a linear dipole and having the current distribution uh, is given in A, B and C. So we need to calculate the far zone electric and magnetic field in a spherical coordinate systems. So you can calculate, and this is very important problem, and through which we can understand the process of the small dipole antenna. This is another problem that we are giving here to test yourself, and this is based on the short dipole, and the short dipole is radiating power P radiated into the free space, and prove or show that the magnitude of the maximum electric field at a distance r e theta is equal to root of 90 P radiated upon r volt per meter. And this is again we can say it's an important derivation, and you should prove here by considering the power P radiated. And this is the fourth example, and again in this example you need to calculate the vector effective length of a z oriented short dipole of the length L located at the origin, and assume a triangular current distribution on the dipole. It means it is a short or we can say it's a small dipole through which we need to calculate the expression of the vector effective length, and this is very important. So these three problems to test yourself, and thank you everyone for watching this lecture. I hope this lecture is beneficial for you. In the next lecture of this series, we will discuss about the half wave dipole antenna and monopole antenna in a subsequent lecture of wire antenna series.